not necessarily believing that his money is our money and my money is my money, but I also had my own mindset, which was that his money is our money, my money is our money, but like I should just make money, support him when I want to, like when there's need and I think I should support, I should just support. But I have grown.
I am sure you have heard this before. My money is my money, but his money is our money. That's what you get to hear in a lot of homes. In today's podcast, we are going to be talking about how to avoid money problems in relationships and marriage. And as usual, with me today is my darling,
Grace Achojis.
and I am yours, Peter Achojis. Now we're going to jump right into business after this break. There is no denying it that one of the biggest challenges that marriages and relationships face is the money problem. One of the solutions to it is talking about it. And on today's podcast, we're going to be really talking about that. And Grace is here to help us do justice to this subject. Grace, you're welcome one more time.
Thank you,
I'm sure
sir.
you're ready for business on today's podcast.
Yeah, we are ready for business.
All right.
It's whether the men are ready for business.
The men are always ready for business.
All right. His money is our money and my money is my money thing. Is a very serious, very, very serious issue. Well, the women would always want to just relax and let the man bring the money, and let's
That is the traditional belief about the subject of money.
Yeah. Okay. Personally, I came into marriage not necessarily believing that his money is our money and my money is my money, but I also had my own mindset, which was that his money is our money, my money is our money, but like I should just make money, support him when I want to, like when there's need and I think I should support, I should just support. But I have grown.
Is it that you have grown or you have come to agree with me?
That's part of the growth.
No. You might still just have you might still think that it's a better way.
Well, in this note, I think I have come to agree. If the Bible said the two shall become one, and we have become one, and we are one in our bodies, we are one in every other thing, then finances should not be different. If the two truly has become one, I don't know why the one does not include finances. Then something must be wrong somewhere. One, the Bible didn't say one only in our flesh. If I can give you my body, which should be more important to me than my money, then I should be able to freely as well let down my money.
But there have been a lot of arguments about whether the man deserves it, or whether this woman deserves for me to tell her, show her, bring our monies to get collectively and all of that. You've had stories of the woman eventually building her house. I don't know how true that is. The man was paying rent only to find out one day that the landlord he's been paying rent to had always been his wife. Those kind of stories. So is it absolute?
Okay. In cases like this, for me, I think that when you come into marriage, like I said earlier, the two we've become one. We should be able to put our money together. Not necessarily, it might be in a joint account. It might be in separate accounts, but we are together. We are running it together. Whether it's your account or my own account, as the case may be, we should be able to, when we say the two, the Bible is the Bible actually that says the two shall become one. If these two have become one, it shouldn't be only in the flesh, like in the body alone. It should also be in finances also. So I think that when a woman comes into marriage, she should come willing to submit not just her body, but her money also. But there's a clause to this. When we say submit my money to you and yours to me, it depends.
Depends.
Depend on the kind of man,
Okay.
particularly for the woman. For the man,
But the Bible doesn't say you should submit if the man is good or if the man is
okay, well, this my take.
okay.
I feel that for the man, is his responsibility to take care of his wife and his children, for his family completely.
Okay.
Whether she supports financially or not is his responsibility, and he should live up to it. And then for the woman, of course, you should support your husband financially.
So it should be that she should support her husband financially, irrespective of whether
Yes.
he is meeting up in certain areas or not.
Well, I think that to the level of her support will also be dependent on the kind of man she's married to. If this man, let's say this woman is working or doing business and earning, of course she should support, whether the man be good or not good or bad. But in submitting her money, like absolutely giving her all, giving her money completely, I think that a woman deserves a man that is willing to cooperate with her. For example, you want to submit your money completely, 100%, to this family, to this man, and this same man is not even faithful to you. Probably he has a girlfriend outside that he is also supplying money to. It does not now make sense that I am earning 400,000 a month and I bring all my 400,000 completely to the table, hoping that I have a man that is responsible enough and sensible enough that will plan with both his money and my money for the well-being of the family. And then this same man is having another woman somewhere that he's supplying this same money to. I don't agree to
but
that.
you know, the case most of the time is that it is allegedly.
Well,
the man is allegedly unfaithful. Not that you have a proof that the man is unfaithful. So
that is why it should be allegedly, not giving up. Because the truth is that when you are married to a man, I understand that there are women that are unnecessarily suspicious, jealous, and overbearing when it comes to the issue of unfaithfulness or faithfulness. But for a right-thinking woman, especially for a believing family, you shouldn't just sit and just assume that your husband is flirting, your husband is unfaithful, and all of that. But at the same time, a woman is actually a very sensitive person, naturally. Women are sensitive. When you live with a man 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, a lot of the times you know him.
You know whether your resources
when it
are
is
being depleted.
Yes,
in that case, where the balance should come is that when you see the two have become one, it simply means that it is not just in the bringing of the resources together. So it's not like the woman brings her resources together or submits her resources so that the man can go spend it. When the resources are brought together, we plan together, we decide together. I don't think that a man that his wife is involved in the finances completely can just cheaply carry 100,000 naira, depending on the financial level of the family. You just go and dash it out and come back. I believe, irrespective of your financial level, let's say the family is ranging in an income, quite a reasonable income level of, let's say, $10,000 a month, for example, and then the man just gives out $2,000 to another woman. It should hit the account in such a way that the woman knows that, okay, this is happening. So it begins with that togetherness, that oneness, irrespective of who makes the money, and it also comes with who spends the money, as long as it falls within our plan. So that's an issue to be discussed, whether how to determine whether the man is faithful or whether and of course women are unfaithful too.
It's true.
A lot of women are
in this case. Even when the woman is unfaithful, the husband has to take care of his wife.
Yes. Okay.
That is where his money is our money.
There are women that are unfaithful to the point that they carry the resources of the family to take care of some boyfriends, some men out there, you know.
That's true.
Yes.
But that would be rather unfortunate.
But it's a reality in today's world.
Yes, it does. It happens, actually. So I think that, having said this, financial transparency in the marriage, you should be 100% transparent. When I mean 100%, now we are believing that you have married a right thinking person, be it the guy or the lady. Your husband should be a right thinking man, or your wife should be a right thinking woman. Because there are people that by the time they know 100%, the family cannot save because that money you have kept must go. So long as they know that there's money somewhere kept, something must come up.
A man was telling me recently that it doesn't matter the amount he puts in his pocket when he goes out, nothing follows him back.
Yeah.
It is either somebody's need is being met, it is or some wants that the family have. Somehow the money does not just get to follow him back home.
Yeah. So when you now have such a partner where every money that is kept must be spent, that is when the person will remember, the sister will call, the brother will call, this other person will call, and this person, there are people that have such weaknesses where they can't, even if it's not money to be spent, even if it's for an unreasonable thing, for everyone that say they have a need, they must give. It is true that families should give, but at the same time,
giving must fall within the budget.
And then how reasonable the person asking, because there are people also, depending on the family you are coming from, there are families that, sorry to say, are unreasonable. You ask for things that are truly not reasonable.
They are not issues or needs that should make another family inconvenience themselves
going into their savings sometimes to meet up that need. And sometimes that need is not even a need in the first place. So I think that this should be put into consideration. While as a family, families should learn to be transparent. Like I said, the level of transparency sometimes is supposed to be how God wants it. For a Christian family, is supposed to be 100%. 100% transparency financially, so that you don't have money problem. When you see a woman telling the children, go and meet your daddy, most times as they come to say that mommy we need, mommy we want, mommy we need, and you hear mommy say, go and meet your daddy. It is because most times mommy is not in the complete know or of what daddy has. If mommy is aware absolutely of what daddy is having, mommy will not refer the kids to daddy. She's either going to tell them, see, we'll get back to you, and then she meets her husband and they talk, or she offers what they have.
Well, personally, I don't even know how this kind of men get to manage where your wife does not have an idea of what you have. So some of these women, I'll just be chunking out demands.
That's what happened.
If I will place it in millions, and until you see the made in China of his account.
You don't even know when you see made in China because he's not transparent.
It's not
so even when he says, I don't have money, it's a routine. It's a cliche. So they are used to it. So even when the man is saying we don't have money, his wife does not believe, neither does the kids. The kids don't believe. So they will still come back for needs because he's not transparent. So one of the key way to avoid money problem in marriage is to be completely financially transparent.
Yes. All right. So at least we've gotten that point. Transparency solves a lot of money problems in marriage. Yeah.
All right. The other thing we must do to avoid problem is to discuss have financial discussion in the marriage. Talk about money.
Communication. Yeah.
Talk about your givings. You talk about your savings. You talk about your spendings. You talk about your debt. And you talk about your investments.
Yes.
Now, I'm sure we want to throw light to these things respectively. If you don't talk about these things, you are definitely going to have financial
I think one
issues.
of them should come first for me is that a family should talk about their income source. It is a good thing for every family to plan to expand their income source. You might be earning salary or profit from business. We should sit down and talk about, okay, life needs will always expand to meet up our level of income. So we should always sit down and plan and talk about how to expand our income, whether it is the same source of income or we should diversify our sources of income so that we could have more money to meet more needs. So it is communication where that should begin from. Let's start from here. So
we've talked about that a bit. Yes. But now it's from the relationship, before the premarital relationship.
Before it even gets into
mindset.
Yes.
We've talked about that in our other podcasts. The person's financial or money-making mindset, the person's borrowing mind. Now, these are things that from relationship, you should have started discussing your finances, how to make money. Families should, especially if you are from the part of the world that we are from, you should know that salary is no longer enough. Where you earn
Like
100,000
my
and I
friend would
earn
always say,
150.
my take-home pay is no longer taking me home.
Yeah. So you should
Yes.
discuss income, whether okay, if both of us are working, what can we do to earn more, to make more money?
Now that follows that as we talk about income together, we should talk about savings, because savings simply means taking out a percentage of
For
that
your
income to keep for the rainy days, for investment, and for other purposes.
planning.
Yeah. So if one person is interested in savings and the other person has not understood that, then there cannot be success in the savings, because when the other person feels we should manage, should put in some austerity measures, the other person does not think so.
The other person is feeling this one is wicked or stingy.
Yes.
So you must agree on your saving plans and why you should save. You know, for every family, the why we should save cannot be overemphasized.
Yeah.
You cannot be a family and then you don't think there's any need at all to save.
Well, your wife wants to give birth. She has been pregnant for 9 months, and after 9 months, you need to go and borrow money for her to go to the hospital and deliver, or to maybe a CS is coming, and you didn't foresee such things come. No, there are things that we should save for, so that when those rainy days come, our umbrellas will be set. Yeah. So
there are too many things to save for as a family. There are kids. If you don't have kids, you might be expecting them, but things just get to come up that you will need money and need it urgently. It's not usually a very good thing or a habit where a family to form a habit of always running out to borrow when there is
when you could have planned towards it. Yes, and then that also follows that a family should plan on giving. I believe very strongly that giving is a fundamental part of life. When you give spontaneously or recklessly, you are on the path to failure. You're going to become poor. So even though giving is a good thing, if you don't plan towards it, poverty will happen to you. So a family should come together, decide. You come from a family, I come from a family. We should be able to agree. Okay, so amount would go to your family, would go to my family, would go to some dependents that we have, then the church, giving to church, giving to our man of God, people in need. Yeah, these are areas that as a family you should sit and plan. I understand that there are times when God speaks and it can go a little outside of the plan. There are times you just know, oh, God is demanding this from us, and you need to make a sacrifice towards it. There's no problem with that. God told Abraham, he said, go and sacrifice your son, your only son. In fact, God even emphasized, he said, your only son, whom you love. Abraham foresaw that giving was too much for him to discuss it with Sarah. So he had to obey before he came back. He didn't have to talk to Sarah, because God eventually supplied himself a lamb for the sacrifice. But I'm saying that once in a while, a woman should be able to respect it when her husband says, this is what God is saying we should do in regards to our finances. And you obey, you agree with him. You know, there are women that every time the man is putting money in the offering basket, she's checking. Every time he wants to give to pastor, how much are you?
So there are they don't
even allow you to give at all. So we should be able to allow God into our finances, despite the fact that we ought to plan. But don't plan until God is taken out of the plan completely. So then we talked about there's the aspect of investment. I believe that every family should plan to invest. Your income, savings does nobody no good until it is invested. That you saved money for 5 years, you don't have a crown for that. You don't have a special award for saving all of that money. The idea is you sit down, you identify different opportunities for investment, and in the opportunities you should be able to look at the safety of those investments, discuss the risk to each of these investments, and come to a conclusion that, okay, we are going to put our money into this. Your money should be able to work for you while you also work for money. If you don't have money working for you somewhere, then of course you're going to remain poor for a very long time. Yeah, you should have money somewhere working for you. That should be part of the planning. Yeah, so investment should be a vital part of our planning.
So when you invest, like you said, you should measure the risk. You can imagine a family saving for 5 years with being very prudent, deprive themselves of things, and then you just invest into things that you've not weighed carefully. Imagine your 5 years of a family life being poured into something that
will crash
within years. So families must carefully plan and then invest wisely into something that can. Not quick money. Sometimes the quick money thing is what puts us into the danger. Where you just want to put it and in 1 month you get 200%. Sometimes it's too good.
There are things you hear that sense should tell you that this is too good to be true. When you are hearing of an investment that is giving you 50% per month, 100% per month, a typical Nigerian will say, my brother, run. Yes, run. When we are investing, when we are saving, another reason why investment is quite important is if you're in a country like the country we are in, our inflation has gets to actually jump into double digits, where your money, you've saved money and you find yourself losing the money by the day. When you saved the money, the exchange rate to the dollar was probably 500 naira to $1. And today, you're hearing that the exchange rate is 1,300 naira to $1. Your investment seems to be intact, but you have actually lost more than 50% of that investment. That is why a family needs to sit down all the time and plan towards their finances. It brings a lot of peace in many areas of finances.
Both parties, when it comes to financial issues, must come with their hearts ready, be open. Because if you come with your heart made up, the financial issue will not end. Because you are not bending. The other party is beginning to feel cheated. That every other time I'm the only one bending. So they must come with the heart.
And then that is why we advise that a woman should choose her husband carefully. Because at the end of all of this, our talking and presenting opportunities and issues, your husband should be able to say at the end of the day, okay, having discussed all of these things, this is the direction that we are going. And a woman, that is where the submission comes to play. A woman that is a wife should be able to say yes sir at the end of the day. So please, women, ladies, marry men that have sense, so that when you are saying the yes sir, you are safe in the yes sir.
Eventually, if this investment turns out well, kudos for everyone. But if it goes wrong, you should all accept responsibility. Take responsibility. Don't come back and say, I said it.
I said it. Oh, I said it. Oh, this man, you not hear. Oh.
The next 1 year, the man will not have peace because he have lost money.
Every day they cook the soup with less protein than there should be. So if not for that, I told you now. I told you.
Every time you have a need for a particular thing, you start crying again. If not for that money that you went and lost, you would have been comfortable. The children would have been going to this other school and not this other school. Would have gotten a better car. And everything is now linked back
to that investment that both of you talked about. And probably because the man made the final decision about it, the woman feels cheated in the whole thing. When he makes the decision, it is no longer his decision, it is our decision. And we'll take full responsibility for both the consequences and the benefits that come from that decision.
Thank you. You know, now we've talked about discussing your giving, we've talked about discussing your earning, your spending. Now we are going to your investments. Now it's your debts.
Very important.
Well, it's our prayer that families don't go into debt. But when you are in debt, I think as a family, you should shouldn't have a habit of not paying your debt. We talked about that when we're talking about in the other podcast, talking about love and money. You should be able to sit down, creditworthiness, to sit as a family and say, this money that we are owing, how do we intend to pay? And plan carefully. When you are in debt, luxury should not be your priority. Luxury you should keep luxury at that point aside and think of how to cut out luxury and meet only needs. Luxury of certain things should be kept by the corner, and then think of how to save up money if it's going to be paid instrumentally or is going to be paid at once. You discuss it and modalities on how to save this money up, and as soon and as fast as possible, we should clear up debts. Don't keep it to linger. It's going to be pulling the family backwards. It's going to be keeping the family down. The longer we keep this thing, the worse. It does not make us better off. Yes, the better. If it's the debt is coming due to investment or business debt, then it's easier. From the business, you start raising money to pay back the debt, but you shouldn't remain and stay comfortably in debt as a family.
Somebody said, if you find yourself in the pit, what is the first thing you should do?
You stop digging.
Stop digging. So if your family is indebted, I think the first thing the family should do is to come together, talk about how you can stop borrowing more money and plan how you would start paying. And sometimes your creditors may not be understanding, they may not be patient with you, but it's always, most creditors know that if they're not patient with you, they may end up losing the money. So you might sit with them and tell them, this is the plan that we have to pay our debts. Please understand with us.
All right, now to the singles. Do not make your finances one until you are one.
Very important.
Because we are saying you should have your money as one, savings should be together, you should be completely transparent and all of that. You should do things together. If you are not yet one, you are not one.
It is risky.
Do not make your finances one when you are not yet one. Wait. When you become one, then you make your finances one. You shouldn't be in a relationship where you are supposed to be out, but money is binding you together. What this relationship actually needs is a break. But you cannot break up when we like to go out,
sometimes
to be out of that relationship. But you are not going out because finances have banded you together. No, it shouldn't be so. Don't go buying properties together when you are not yet married. It's a great mistake to make.
And this finances coming together is not necessarily investing together or in buying properties together. When you begin to hear statements like, after paying her school fees, after seeing you through school, you are leaving me. That's the part of bringing the money. That's an investment in a person.
When you are not yet
You're making one when you're not one. If you want to pay her school fees, marry her. If you want to sponsor her abroad or you want to help him to travel out, be married first. Don't base those things on promises. He said he's going to marry me. She said she's going to marry me after school. That is why. So Grace is saying, don't make your finances one when you are not yet one.
Don't carry all your money as a single girl. We are not saying you cannot help him. Help him. But don't carry everything you've worked for and give to a man that you are not married to. And you do that consistently. Then when he ends up not marrying you, you start crying.
Of course, you'll be heartbroken now. Your heart is not made of iron. Where Jesus said, where your treasure is, there your heart should be also. But in the case of premarital relationship, you should always leave the back door open. That back door should be shut after marriage. But in relationships, you should always have your back door open, because relationship is not marriage. If it is not working, ball out. Yes, that's how it works. If it is not working, you leave. So, but when resources are overtied together, you don't expect to be able to gladly or even though we can heartbrokenly leave. Anyhow, you should be able to leave. That's what we are saying.
All right. Thank you very much, sir.
All right. Thank you very much for staying tuned with us in this podcast today. I believe you have learned a lot. Do us this favor. Subscribe to this channel. Follow us and share. Put your comments down. Make sure that you contribute to this so that next time when we come on this program, we'll discuss the very issues that you're putting down. Meanwhile, remain blessed.
Thank you.
God bless you. See you next time.
Bye.